base plate cleaning. Now, as you can see here, we have got a pre-cut example of a coaster, and then when you flip it around, obviously this was levitated and catched with little multiple of these dots, so it just catches it, boom, and it will not fall. What you can do with this method is stop all of the marks that come on the back of the product, like this one, for example. And what you can see on the back of the wood is that you can have some backsplash of the diode laser. Now, this has not all got to do with the reflectiveness of the plate, but indirectly it does. So as you can see here, you've got some reflective mats. That's because we've been cutting out some larger objects. These marks you don't get it with every material. You do get it with certain wood types, and the wood that we have been using in different diameters is this local wood from the Hornbach, and it's pretty oily. It's a good sign, it's a bad sign, depends what you're doing. Anyway, after you cut, if you read the manual, you will see that you need to clean this thing anyway. So today is the day that we're going to video capture the cleaning. These things are just the dummy default clips. As you can see here, there is some cutting residue. Now, we don't use any other plate than the provided base plate, but we are working on a solution, and we'll be making a video about that soon. So for this demonstration purpose, I am going to be using cloth, which makes it visible. See all the debris that comes off it, and there's just going to be some simple action cloth. But before we even start with that, we are going to hoover out all of the debris, so excuse me for the noise. And then for all of you guys who think, oh, how do you get inside the small crevices? 3D printers. So you put this manifold on, and you can get in all of the tiny areas. And once that is done, you can use what we prefer, different methods. This one, it's just some spiritus with some cleaner in, pretty ecological, doesn't really damage your stuff up until what we've seen. So I just spray this on, if it wants to, under the angle. Yes, spray it on. Depending on where you come from, it can be expensive or cheap. Well, in my case, we get it from Germany, so it's not that expensive. Anyway, you can now see that a little, well, not so good on camera, but in real life you can see that all of the residues, they turn kind of like orange. And then as soon as you use this, it will stink, so make sure that you've got your ventilation enabled, which can be done in the settings. As you can see, it becomes very dirty. So here's my ventilation is now on as we do this process. Yeah, spray down multiple times. It's not going to be one time good, or good in one go, whatever. The reason why I speak like that is because I speak multiple languages and sometimes it's confusing. So make sure to clean also the lining icon. Well, you might as well just clean everything, but if you're in a rush and you just want to clean your base plate, make sure to clean the alignment dots, because often these give some issues. Alright, now you may say, oh, why not use isopropanol? Well, you can use isopropanol, but as anybody with a PhD will tell you, it doesn't take away oils. Now, for the isopropyl alcohol, and we will do it again with the rinse of the paper cloth towel, just to show you how much residue still comes off of this. So with this you can get any other of the lingering, say, insoluble stuff. And as you can see, maybe here is still a spot where it's been lasered on there pretty hard, so it's not really wanting to come off. It's not reflective anymore if you use the isopropanol, but you can see all of the marks of where it's been used in the previous step. You can polish that away, but you don't really want to, and as you can see, it's still pretty dirty. So we're gonna go for another round of cleaning, but as you can see, this is the way to clean it. Now if you're doing this, then you want to look back at the other video that I made about cleaning the nozzle, but it's a good time to also clean the nozzle. Mine is due to cleaning also. A small adaptation since the last video is that you can also use like a small toothbrush or a cutoff of a toothbrush. I worked on the high-tech campus, so I got myself a bunch of these prototypes that were laying around. They were discarded. Very handy for this kind of tool. But even if you just have a cheap toothbrush, use this one and get in all of the crevices. Also, for when you're working around your tool and you're cleaning stuff, these toothbrushes are really handy. Now what we used to do in the repair was just get a bunch of them from the Zeeman or somewhere cheap where they're literally just your euro, and would cut all of the excess of the toothbrush off, so you only had like the main head of the toothbrush. And then also, if you want to do a trick to get into the really small areas, the fine areas, you grab preferably a little bit of a warm knife or scissors, and you cut off to an angle the toothbrush, so you've got the big hairs to do the rubbing action and the small ones to get into all of the small holes. So this is definitely one of the things to be looking out for. If you can get them cheap, get them. Now back to the plate. It's had a little bit of time to work into the plates, I would say. Loosen up the debris, oils. Still not coming off good. I have to really do this with a sponge. This paper towel, not the best. But for the film purposes, you can see that it's way better. And then I cannot show you guys now directly, but this is the one that I processed after cleaning the build plate. And you can see that there is nearly to no reflections. Here still some, but that's also got to do with the reflections that you cut out on previous lasers. So stay tuned for that solution. We will be making that soon. And yeah, that's an instruction video on how to quickly clean your lasering inlay tray, or well, donut tray, whatever you want to call it.